Hello,
Hello.
I'm glad that I had chance to interview Ms. Charuta Bahulikar, founder of Hill Spectrum. So thank you for joining us today. To start, could you tell us little about what motivated you to pursue entrepreneurship?
Sure. Thank you so much. So basically, I completed my education, and after that, I realized that professionals are basically facing a lot of problems. Like they have a lot of overheads on them, and the entire medical education is very expensive. So after that, following, starting your own setup clinic is very expensive. And after that, you don't really have a good education about how to manage your practices. So I kind of thought that, I can manage my own clinical practice and probably make all the operations easy for everyone. So that's how I entered into this.
Like you have to like one startup to start.
Sorry?
Like you like to work under your own.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. So next that like every journey has its challenges. So what were
Hmm.
initial obstacles you faced starting out?
So initial obstacle was, probably funding, initial basic, how to manage the funds when you have the idea.
Yes, yes.
Uh, That's the main problem. And after how to, have your systems in place, staff, hiring the right staff, all this were the basic problems that I faced.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So moving on to the next. How did you fund? So like you had obstacles for funding, then how did you fund your business initially? Like there was a
So
certain budget or
initially,
investment.
certain,
Like you have your own budget or take an investment from.
no, at this moment, I've not taken any investment. I kind of took
Okay,
help from my family. So I have my own
okay,
budget.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So in your opinion, what are the essential qualities that makes entrepreneurs successful?
So basically, you should be very resilient and, consistent on, in daily basis and be ready to face all the challenges and problems, have problem solving skills. That is one in, then probably, yeah, you could be consistent. You should solve problems, be very focused and learn your laws well. That's very important. You should
Yes,
be
yes,
very,
yes.
yes, clear with your legals.
As we
So
have to
this basic
dedicate
thing.
time,
Hmm?
as we have to dedicate more time to our work business.
Yes, yes, more time to our work, totally. And you should have leadership skills, team building skills, so that your business runs if you have the right team. And yeah, you should be ready to take calculated risks in business.
Yes, yes. So tell me more about your business, like what kind of service or product your company offers, and what
So
you are aiming to solve the questions, problems.
yeah. So basically, Health Spectrum is a medical co-working space wherein we provide cabins to doctors. Like we are providing space to doctors so that they can do their own practice. So it is benefiting all kinds of doctors of different stages.
Yes,
If you are a young doctor, probably it is very difficult to initial level pay, invest into having your own setups. If you are a very old doctor, probably you want to expand your practice in different areas, so probably it is going to help them also. If you are a doctor, you want to be omnipresent in different cities you are
yes,
practicing, then probably this could be your clinic in this city. So I basically am looking up to starting such co-working spaces, which is going to help the doctors, and we are managing the here we are managing entire thing for the clinics for them. So while having clinics at multiple locations or while having clinics in the initial stages when we have not learned business in our education, you probably can run your practice that way. So that's the whole thing.
Yeah, like it was a very good like idea. It is a very good startup.
Thank you.
Did any government policies help you or supported you in schemes policies as for you?
Uh, no, sadly, because I was not aware of all the government policies which are there. But
Okay.
now I am coming across certain government policies or loans which are there for startups. All the banks are now offering loans for startups.
Yes, yes.
So when I started, probably that was not very common. So I am not very aware of all the, when I
And
started, I was not aware of all these loans which are there. So I have not
yes,
been
most
benefited with
okay.
any of them.
Yes, like most of the entrepreneurs are not aware about the various schemes and government policies, like
Yes,
in
yes,
today in our India, in our country. So,
yes.
like like entrepreneurship is often associated with like IIMs or IITs.
Hmm.
So, how can we extend this culture to students from two tier and three tier colleagues?
Probably, government can support the startups to hire interns or provide internships to, students or whoever is interested into getting into entrepreneurship. So if the internships are being probably funded by government, then it is easy for two tier two or tier three cities also to start hiring interns in their new startups. So I think that could be a good plan. Or maybe promoting internships.
So, yes, definitely. Today, like internship is more they are more providing helps to students more than like learning from schools and colleges.
Yes,
So,
yes.
should
And
students start businesses right after their studies or should gain some industry experience first?
uh, I started immediately after my education, but probably a little industry experience would help. So they should maybe have internships or work with the earliest startups for initial experience and then get into their own.
Okay, so you had your like positive thinking that you are going to start after right after studies.
Yes, because entrepreneurship was not very common or at that time probably. Two
Okay.
years back it was people would not support or have, that acceptance was not there if you were taking entrepreneurship full time. Now it is there.
Yes, yes. So, what do you think that like how can government support students in pursuing entrepreneurship?
Maybe at school level or college level or after every course, like I am into medical education, so probably in medical education they should teach a little bit about the business part also or entrepreneurship
Okay.
also. So if anybody is interested while doing that, then probably they are aware of it since the beginning. If you are going into engineering, probably this little part also should be exposed to the students.
Yes.
And
Okay.
yes,
So, moving to our next question, like, do you believe that entrepreneurs can be created through training and mentorship?
definitely, definitely. You need mentors at every level. So trainings and mentorships, I totally believe it supports or helps.
Did you take training or mentorship or like,
Yeah, I kind of, maybe, yeah, some kind of experience I've had through. I have a few mentors from my industry. Then, there are few people who are teaching entrepreneurship now. So I've been
Yes.
it's guidance to them.
Okay, okay. So, like, do you think entrepreneurship should be the part of school curriculum?
Yes, kind of it should be. People,
Like,
wouldn't waste a lot of time. They would start early if they are really interested into that.
okay, okay. So, like, what are the common barriers that most entrepreneurs face in India?
So
Like, for
we have,
example, yes,
yeah, please tell me.
no, no, continue.
So I feel while you're starting, you have both domestic as well as global players in business. So it is very difficult for your startups to stand out. So if I have a startup, which is a earlier startup as of now, since we have big players also, so it is very difficult for
Yes,
our businesses to stand out. Uh, Funding is very difficult to get in earlier startups. You really need to have a lot on paper before getting funding. So that's very difficult at initial levels. And entrepreneurship is not, full-time entrepreneurship is not very supported by our culture or traditions or the society
yes,
that we
that
live
is,
in.
I think that is the most common barrier,
Yes, yes,
cultural, most of
yes.
the
So that
Indian society.
definitely, definitely. And after you are, you have your funding right, probably you have your permissions, legal and otherwise, right? Talent acquisition is an issue, staff
Yes.
or team building. So these are the basic barriers.
Okay. So what do you think like what can be done to create a more supportive entrepreneurial environments in India?
Uh, Maybe you could have a simplified regulations, laws that could be simple.
Yes, like in
And
our India, like we have to take more permissions and there are more waiting time to
yes,
take a license from
yes,
government, like more complex way to
yes,
start a
yes.
business, startup.
Right, right. So that is easier, easy access to fundings at initial levels. So then,
Yes. So what are the interesting lessons that you have learned along your entrepreneurial journey?
one important lesson is being persistent and pushing through every day and being ready to face all the risks and challenges that are going to come on everyday basis. And
Okay,
there, another important lesson is networking. Your
okay,
networking is the key. You have to have good relations with your industry mentors or the peers, or you need to have mentors from your industry so that people will have faith and trust in your business model. So
okay.
that's the thing. And you should be continuously learning about new strategies and changing market trends.
So like it
These
was
are
a
the
very
few.
exciting journey.
Yes.
Okay, like what do you think? Like, would you like to see from government for so that government should support entrepreneurs? Like, what
As
additional support?
I already mentioned, probably internships so that the early age startups are also are easy on their budgets to hire people and
Okay, okay.
easy access to all the fundings which are there. Maybe the awareness they can just
Yes,
spread more awareness. Certain policies or government policies, it is very difficult. We are unaware of government policies which are already there. Maybe there are certain policies which are supporting, but we are unaware of it. So maybe that if we
yes.
could get to know easier that.
Okay, okay. So like along your journey. what piece of advice would you give to our young aspiring entrepreneurs?
Piece of advice is be ready for all the challenges. It's a good thing to be a full-time entrepreneur. And
Okay.
uh, yeah, be ready for all the risk and challenges because the other side is probably great.
Okay. Like, so how do you identify future opportunities and like if do you have any future plans to your business? So could you share any ideas?
Yeah, so with this like co-working model, I would like to
Okay.
expand more in the co-working model, maybe more locations if we could acquire. We can be right now we are present at only one location, so we could be, try and be present at multiple locations.
Okay.
And yes, and maybe more doctors to have faith in the co-working model
Yes,
so
yes.
that we can yeah, so that's the plan. And make the model very sustainable. Basically, if they understand that this is a sustainable way of practicing, then then maybe it'll spread more or expand easily.
Okay.
That's the
So
plan.
that was so lastly, last question that what ethical practices do you believe are essential for entrepreneurs and like how do you implement them in your own firm?
Ethical practice basically is having, focusing on your customers, deliver great value, maybe promise less, deliver more, and
Okay.
follow all the laws, regulations. That's the most important thing. And
Yes, like
follow all the safety protocols. Since I'm into healthcare startup, maybe you can follow all the safety protocols here. And yeah, and be very
so
transparent if with your customers or if you have any stakeholders in your business, then with them
okay.
also. Yeah. So that's what we've been doing, trying to do all of it.
Okay. So that was it. So I would like my also like I would like to show my friends about your startup, like how entrepreneurship works, and also I would like to
Def-
introduce my friends also too.
Definitely, definitely.
Okay, thank you for
Definitely.
sharing these insights. It's inspiring to hear your journey and advice for budding entrepreneurship, and we wish you continued success in all your ventures.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.